What's up? I'm Amanda.
I'm Emily.
And we're back again with Allie. We're doing 2 episodes with her.
Yeah, so this is part 2, but if you're listening to Two Moms, One Life.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
Done. Been a long day. Yeah.
2 moms, 1 life.
Yeah, so if you listened to the previous episode, you heard our adventures, not mine personally, I'm just a commentator, their adventures in dating after divorce. Now, we're going to talk about co-parenting, which is a very hot topic after divorce as well.
Sure is.
So once again, I'll be the commentator, and we will listen to their lovely stories.
So, Allie and I spoke a little bit off air first, and I told her, like, my ex and I, we have, like, a great co-parenting relationship. From day one, I said to him, Antonio loves mommy and Antonio loves daddy. Antonio doesn't want to see mom being mean to daddy and daddy mean to mommy. So we agreed that, like, Antonio was our number one priority. And, like, that's, like, and I think you can agree. And, like, that's important, like, to really keep the kids in mind and to make, it's already a tough situation, getting a divorce, all the stress, things are changing in your child's life. They don't understand why. And, like, one thing that can be consistent is them feeling loved, right? And seeing you showing respect for someone they love as well.
Yeah, respect is very big for sure. Especially like still following that through after the marriage as well, right? Like,
yeah,
it's tough when the situation is not easy from the beginning, but like if both parents want what's best for the child, you'll put in that work to do it. And sometimes when you first get divorced, one parent wants what's best for the child, then the other one is operating either out of ego or they're being, they're upset at that time. So they do things out of spite and it really affects the kids. We were like that too, like right off the bat. I was like, I'm not going back and forth in that sense. Like it's not going to affect the children in that way. It's not fair for them to hear that and left each other. So that, like I said, there's no... Children need to see their parents still loving each other and respect each other either way.
Yeah, I think Matt, my ex, once said, like, while we were going through all this, that he saw, like, a post of, like, a birthday party. And it was, like, the mom and dad wearing T-shirts that said coach. And then, like, their new partners wearing T-shirts that said, like, assistant coach.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
And he said to me, like, I hope one day, like, that could be us. Like, he was really big on, like, kind of making sure we're all like a team for Antonio.
Yeah.
And like
that's going up all together.
And I think like that's really important. Like, I've spoken to like friends and like other people that know people that are divorced. And like one of my friends was telling me a story about a friend that's like dealing with a nasty divorce. And like, the way the husband drops off the son is that he throws the knapsack at the front door.
Oh,
and, like leaves the kid on the porch and like that's not right. And it's like you're hurting your child.
Yeah,
you're hurting someone. You're
like if you're the kid, you'd be like, "Wow, daddy doesn't want me."
The kid's like
100%. The children will always put it on themselves. They will always think there's something wrong with them that's making that happen.
That's really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That guy's first.
Yeah, so. I mean, like, and it's even like another friend of mine that I spoke to, and like the way she does things with her ex too is so beautiful. Like, I love it. I think it's beautiful. Like, I mean, you're married, and I want to hear what you think of it. But when she was dating, she would call her ex and be like, "Hey, are you busy tonight?" You say like, "No." And she's like, "Hey, come over for dinner, have dinner with us, and then I'm gonna go out." And she would sit down with her ex and her kids, have dinner, and then like, "Hey, have fun with dad," and go out. And people are like, "That's so weird. You have dinner with your ex." And she's like, do your kids get to have dinner with their mom and dad?" They're like, "Yeah." She's like, "So what's weird about it? Kids are having dinner with their mom and dad."
Listen, if you could like be at that point, it's amazing.
Yeah. Like I think
at
like
the end of the day, like obviously something brought you guys together. You know what I mean? And if it maybe it didn't work out for whatever reason, but if you can still remember that the friendship, not even like the actual like relationship, like just the friendship, what's wrong with that?
yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, and
unfortunately it's not the picture for everyone, but in that situation for them, like that's fantastic. I even hate like, like when you go to like a wedding and like bride or the groom's like parents are divorced, but it's like one of like those dramatic situations where it's like, oh no, the father has to be on one side and be nowhere near the mother. It's like, really, just fucking show face. It's one day for your damn kid.
Yeah, you're doing it so awkward for them and all of their planning.
The attention on you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't suck it out like one day for your kid to get married and not be like, oh no, if your mother's going to be at Disney, well, I'm going to be on the fucking polar opposite, or we can't all get together, or we can't do this. Like, but I don't make things about you.
Also, yeah, it's number one, you're making it about you, but also it's, I think that adults, like parents, are forgetting that, like, you're saying this to someone that has so much love for that person that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, again, someone else I was like, I didn't love, like, after your divorce, I loved talking to like a divorced, like, kids that keep up with family, like adults, like my friends that went through, like, trying to say, like,
Years later and growing
yeah, I'm like, how did you feel about this? How'd you feel about that? Like, asking them questions. And, like, another girl said to me, she's like, my parents got a divorce when I was 3. She's like, but they lived their whole life fighting. She's like, so yeah, they were separated, but I had to watch them fight for the rest of my life. And she's like, so, like, it wasn't fun to
Oh,
watch.
that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to sever the ties, figure out the relationship and don't keep involved. Like, definitely remove the
This
children.
was like advice that, like, they gave me, right? She had like, don't fight. And I like, that's, I think, what all kids want. They want their parents to be happy and they want to feel loved. 100%.
Well, then a lot of times people harvest that anger and they're just holding onto those hot stones and we're burning, or the person holding the stones, right? If you literally drop the stone, your hand stops burning. But we hold on to those things and we harvest them because it's going to make our ego feel better. Like, is that worth your child's traumatic trauma? Is that worth the generational trauma that follows after that? Like, a lot of our generation's parents were together for their whole lives and we watched them argue the whole time. Me, my brother, and like people that I know in the same situations have said many times, I wish my parents got divorced when we were younger, so I didn't have to grow up hearing all of that.
Yeah.
That's why I left, because I didn't want that for my children. I'd rather them have 2 happy homes where they're loved and cherished and treated with kindness and respect, and the other people in the home are treated with kindness and respect, than have them listen to it in the background their whole life.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? You've been separating longer than Amanda, so obviously your co-parenting has been on more of a journey than Amanda.
Oh, 100%. We were nowhere near where we are now when it first started. Like, I didn't have it in any situation where there was even that basic respect of him to be like, I want to make sure you and the kids are secure. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a lot of the misconception when people talk about co-parenting. It's not supposed to be different than parenting.
Yeah.
We put this title on it because you're divorced that you co-parent, but you and your husband already co-parent your kids every day together.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, you're right.
Parenting is something that's done collectively. It's put together.
Your words in places the same
Or not, right? So I think as soon as we label things, we start to have expectation behind them. And then all of a sudden, there's things that happen. My mom used to tell me all, take him to the ringer, take him to the ringer. For what? What am I going to get out of it? Sad kids? Kids who saw their mother fighting desperately or wife just to get something? For what? Right? Like, at the end of the day, you're really damaging yourself, your child, all the generations to follow you. We're in this life right now, the millennials, to bring generational curses. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we've been through a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
And we are meant to awaken the rest of civilization now.
Yeah.
To say, this isn't okay. That's how it should be. Not, oh, just give your kid a screen and you don't have to deal with it, or give your kids all that freedom so you have to deal with it. I happy medium in between, where parents are parents, whether both work, whether one works, people take care of things in the household. That's another thing. People have that misconception that it has to be 50-50. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be 80 and that other person can only be 20. Sometimes that other person needs to take that 70% so you can have space to fall apart. Parenting is not easy. Whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you've never been either. Like, some people are aunts and uncles and they have to devote their whole life to a child that wasn't theirs. And they do a great job at co-parenting with another. Some people co-parent with the freaking government and foster care. Like, at the end of the day, parenting styles and all of that all come down to basic respect. And like you said, if you go into something fighting off the bat, you eliminate any work that can be done, any healing. Because when you heal yourself, you heal that person and that person and that person, and all the generations to follow. You teach your child to love this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I settled for all kinds of shit in my marriage and in dating after because I saw it my whole life.
Yeah.
I thought it was normal.
You're drawn to.
I was right? Like it was my nervous system was programmed that way. I thought it was normal to be yelled at a store, just like people don't stop to see a taxi if someone's yelling at them and say, "Oh, this doesn't look safe for that girl or that guy or whatever," right? Like we become programs and things that we're surrounded with, but we can't teach our children how to love and how to be loved, and you can't do that if you're fucking. So it definitely came full circle. Like in the beginning, I had to. Oh, can you take your this day and that day? And it got to the point where it was like, holy hell, am I really doing this all by myself? Yeah. Like I knew when I left, it was a little easier for me to leave because I was already single. I was already doing all the things with the house. I was already doing all the things with the kids. I was already.
Yeah, so really, the only thing that changed for you was the expectation that someone was going to do something.
And having to take care of that other person while I was.
Yeah. So you actually just removed.
I removed the extra baggage, exactly. And the part that was telling me I wasn't contributing, the part that was telling me I wasn't paid for whatever I needed to be paid for while being home, raising 2 kids full time and running a business. Like I worked, spent time and ran my business the whole time until I decided now I make good money in my business. I don't need to go back to full-time HVAC and construction and all that stuff. Construction world's not easy for a woman, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of work, and I left it for a fucking reason. I started all the event planning after teaching and all of that for a reason, but then you get stuck, and you're stuck in a position. I ended up finding a good job. Someone actually called me, was like, oh, we need someone in this, whatever. And like, I said, I need you because you're the only one who's ever been good at that, whatever. And now I love it there. Like, it works for my schedule with kids. I pick up at 5 o'clock. I don't have to take home with me. Like, I'm done, you know? And I've lived the stay-at-home mom. I've lived the working from home mom. I've lived the business like mom. And so for me, like, I've always been co-parenting with someone.
Yeah.
I can't do it alone. You know, and it really does take a village. And they took that village away from us when they sold us that lie of independence and this and that and arguing with your spouse and pitting people against each other. And like, I think divorce is easier now. People are so quick to just dismiss and move forward. That's why when I do see couples that are great, and I think all they need is to show each other some love and work on their marriage together for their kids and their family, I'll openly say that. Like, someone will tell me, oh, well, don't take that for granted, you know? Like, I don't just, fuck that. He was like,
So, you know, I'm
mad.
bitching about it.
No. Because everybody has room for growth, right? That's the whole point. And I think my ex-husband now, at the point that he's in his life, like, a lot of the growth that he's done as a father now was because I walked away, right? Like, I gave them, forced it. Yeah. And I see my kids smiling ear to ear. And I know that all those days on the floor trying to pig myself worth that because my kids never had to feel that angst of us arguing over divorce and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My little one, like we did in COVID, things got a little more heated and you're confined in a house. So screaming and stuff was a lot more in that beginning time of when I left. But that's what pushed me to leave it for, right? And Juliana was still in my belly at that time, right? So it was like, okay, things are not going right. This isn't right. Then we sold the house and moved to Woodbridge so that it could be a little easier for me with help from my mom and that kind of stuff. Because at that point we were still married, but I was doing everything. I couldn't keep up, right? So instead of my husband saying, my wife needs me to be 80 right now, it was, you're not putting in 80. That 20 that I'm putting is not enough right now, you know? Like,
yeah.
And it was only ever that 20. So, and I honestly, he's done a lot more now. Like, you know, sports come up and I'll say, shit, like, the basic amount of child support that you're supposed to get when the person is not making their account on Uber and all that kind of stuff is actually pretty low. It's not enough to be able to take it. It's like getting $300 a week for 2 kids. Can you go grocery shopping on that for 2 kids every week? That's like when Ellie just cut it close, you know what I mean? And that's just buying eggs and toast, and, you know? Like, it's not, they don't give you a lot of money in the child support. So when it works out to what the legal amount is for 2 kids, it's $16,000. But if I'm spending my $76,000 for full-time care for the whole, like, how does that balance?
Yeah.
Right? If the other person has 50% custody, there is no discussion of yank person that, because if he's at their place, that's taken care of on that side. Right? Like my boyfriend now has 1 week on, 1 week off with his spouse. So yeah, he takes care of everything and then some, because he's that kind of guy. And he doesn't have to. But then you have those other ones where it's like, I'm gonna make money and I'm gonna do the all off paper. So even if she takes it, there's nothing there to take.
Yeah.
And then what? You drive yourself crazy going dry with boys to get nothing.
I don't get why people do that, because
Selfish.
we were talking about this before. Like, why would you want to hurt your child? Like, I feel like people think that they're hurting the mother.
They do.
You're ultimately hurting the kid as well. Like, you try to hide money or fake accounts or declare XML. Why would you take away things from your child that they're entitled
Because
to?
society tells them to.
I think they're hurting.
Yeah.
If you're making the mother struggle, she's struggling with the child.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think people have that.
That's like a 2-for-1 sauce right there. Like,
It is. And you love that woman at some point. What kind of a man are you if you want a woman and a child separate? Not a real man.
of course.
I'm sorry, I'm a man. We're here to protect and provide for women and children. Period. Same way we're here to care, give, and raise our children.
Yeah.
There's a reason we all have the one and the other, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't procreate for no reason. And at the end of the day, like, you love that woman at some point, and you're really just hurting the kid. But I think it's society, because it's that decade of all the men who saw women take their husbands for everything. And the man is out there struggling, paying child support, has to fight just to save their kids.
Like,
Right?
Yeah. There's stories that
people assume that, like, that's what women are doing.
Yeah, that's why I say every
Situations I've seen, like, nasty women, like, situations.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and man is, you know,
Listen, at the end of the day, you know, you'll have women want to take more because maybe they say, oh, if I could squeeze out a headache out of this, why not?
exactly.
And then it's like those stories that then take to other people. And there's more anger and more spitefulness. And then I just like people would just like look at their scenario and do what's best in their scenario.
Exactly.
It does say, I heard this from so and
I was the person who was getting a divorce and, like, asking for advice from everyone, because, like, I didn't know what I was, like,
no, but asking for advice is different and like hearing a horror story.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? That's like we like
And you have children who came from a divorced family.
know how it felt their lives. Women, like,
Yeah,
what it,
yeah. Let's people call me to someone who was like really bitter or really sneaky and say, yeah, you know what? I fucking got a car out of it. I got purses, child support. I actually go get Botox every month. Like, those are not people that are gonna guide you in the right direction. That's who,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
but you wouldn't relate to them anyway. Take their conversation, right? Usually, like,
No, so I mean, I just, with, like, my situation, I just, like, didn't want my things taken from me. 100%. I was just like, people, for sure, what you had, like, I keep what I had. Like,
and that's the other thing. A lot of women that are doing that, where they fight for all of it, didn't come with their own stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's that culture of where men are like, well, what do you think?
There's a school parties need to be fair.
Yeah.
Once again, have the interest of the child.
Yeah, but it goes both ways.
If you're going in man versus woman, take, and then all of a sudden like, the child fucking left with nothing. You got no fun, you got bare diapers, you got no food.
Yeah.
At least you guys both have a house to live in. Like, I don't know. Like,
No, that's like the spousal support.
it's a bigger picture than what people think it is. Like, you can't. I'm not divorced, so I can be wrong, but I feel like if you're acting solely on anger of the situation, you're not having the best interests
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah. And that's when you need to take time to yourself to think about things and get help from someone, and even if it's a friend, before taking action.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people don't think before they act, and they'll say things and whatever. And you know, kids, time flies. It only takes 1 year for that emotional damage to occur. You know what I mean? And that shit fucking haunts you the rest of your life. So we are already so hard on ourselves as parents. Like, are we doing the right thing? You don't also need to egg it on with, oh my God, did my divorce kill them and ruin their life?
And like during your divorce episode, you were talking about like how worried you were, like, oh my God, what is like the long term on it?
Yeah, I was so concerned, and like honestly, like he's a dad. Number one, he was like 17 months when this like first started. And one of my friends pointed out to me where I played, he was talking about daddy's house and mommy's house. And she was like, oh my God. She's like, he talks about daddy's house and mommy's house. And I was like, yeah. Like, 'cause he has two homes.
Yeah, it's always been his life.
To her, it was like, so like, I don't know if it was sad, but like more maybe interesting slash a little bit sad. And she's like that he has that. But I said to her, like, that is norm. Like, you're sad because you're thinking of your child talking about.
Yeah.
I said, and like, it sounds sad, I guess.
It would have been different if we said like, for example, and I'll take this for like, this is not
like, well, we're trying.
if he'd be like, oh, I hate going to daddy's house. Oh, daddy's house is boring. You know what I mean? If he goes around saying nothing, I'd be sad about it. But just having the statement of, yeah, I have two homes.
Like, he was just talking at dad's house, I have this, and at mommy's house, I have this.
Yeah.
He was talking like that, and they were like, oh my God, he acknowledges that. But I'm like, yeah, that's his norm.
Yeah.
When we drive and we pass by his dad's building, he's like, oh, it's daddy's house. Like,
Yeah, baby don't remember 17 months.
I went past the hospital and my son's like, oh, mommy took me there and they took my blood. Kids like point out
yeah,
like the
even like when he talks now about like who he loves, like he's like, I love mommy, I love daddy, I love Steve, but he brings up my boyfriend as well. Like, I don't even know, like, he's two. I don't even know if he knows Steve's my boyfriend. Like, I don't know what he thinks Steve is. Cause like, this is mommy's friend Steve. So like, Steve's around all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love Steve. I've never seen Steve again. Like, but I don't know if he actually like knows like who Steve is to me. Like,
yeah,
they'll figure that out and try to his look. I would say for me, because Juliana was not even 2 and it was almost 5.
yeah.
So I did see both sides of whether or not you started with a marriage and then divorced as your children were old, or if they were a baby. And it's very true. Juliana doesn't remember any life
Yeah.
before
Olivia.
where I am now. Olivia does very little, but not as far as what really went on and why things happened. That's why I think it's important when you know and you're getting those feelings and it's not like we can work through this type of thing. You don't have love for each other anymore.
yeah.
That it's important to go early because the child goes wild. Yeah, and then they're changing something. Then it's a lifestyle change for them. Whereas, like you said, if he's always grown up in 2 houses, like Juliana told us, going to dad's house. It's never been like, oh my God, what? All of a sudden now. But for Olivia, it was very hard in the beginning because me and Olivia were just me and Olivia for 4 years before Juliana.
She's probably also very attached to you.
We literally to the boob until 13 months. Like, and then it was daycare and work. And like I said, I was single mom already before any of that. So it was me and Olivia worked together all day, every day, just the 2 of us. You know what I mean? So for her, it was a little bit of a change when it came to having Juliana around. And I think when you leave earlier with no, it's not right and you're not going to work it out, then you're better off doing that because it does cause less to the child. But I do feel like I understand, and some people look at it like it's weird. You guys have dinner together or whatever. Because like sometimes in a marriage, while there's people separated and divorced, you end up back together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like
I understand if it's 6 years later. Like for me, if me and Bob were like now, we've actually talked about it. Because we want to take the kids away. I want to take the kids away, and he wants to take the kids away.
Yeah.
But everything is so expensive. Why would we not get 2 villas, bring the whole family, and go together? Then with me, my aunt, you and your girlfriend watch
my aunt, she has a friend, they do that every year.
Yeah.
They both go on vacation to the same resort.
Yeah.
The sun.
I know someone else like that. She's older. She has 3 kids with her first husband, and then she has a 4th kid with somebody else.
Yeah.
But they're not together. When they take vacation, the ex-husband goes.
Yeah, and I don't feel like
Stay in the same room.
oh, you get the same resort and that's it. But I
She
just think
said one day, okay, I gotta go off the resort. Well, now the kids are with daddy.
it's a word you want in 2 weeks. Like it's not like, oh, I honestly love that.
And then like you guys are splitting the cost of the kids together.
It is great, but I do think in the middle of the separation, it's not okay because you either have to decide either deciding to work together on your marriage or you're dating. It's not fair to the people on the outside to accept that it's just like, oh, well, I'm co-parenting, so you have no choice. It's like, no, you don't have to involve me in all of this part until you know you're divorced.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, in separation, you're gonna date. Like, it's a long process. It doesn't just happen over time, like one day. You know what I mean? I think it's like I waited a year for all my papers to finally get finalized, but I had to be divorced and separated for. The addresses had to be different for a year first before I could even apply for one.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You're not gonna sit around and not date, but that part of connection, like even if you're on great terms, it may cause issues in other future relationships where you're trying to build because they're like, are you gonna get?
I mean, you definitely have to be like, you have to be like ready to do something like that. Like, it's not something you can do 6 months out. Like, I know, like, when I was first getting divorced, I wanted, like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I just thought about my son all the time, but I wanted him to feel like he would have a family still. So, like, we would kind of feel like Wonderland, us three. And, like, it was just a disaster because I couldn't stand being around.
Yeah, you weren't in that.
And yeah, I wasn't in the headspace and I would, like, agree to do these things, but it would just be, like, a total mess. Like,
Yeah.
but I was just like, I'm trying to do this for my son.
Sacrificing
He
for
could
him.
feel like he has, like, both his parents together, but, like, it wasn't healthy for anyone.
Yeah, and you see that in your own reactions to this emotion, and the child reacts differently because your emotions are different. Like, Bobby will meet us at baseball when it's time for the baseball game. They have their little interactions. I watch on the bench. It's his time for the game. He does the score, or I do, like whatever. You know, if I'm coaching or whatever, like we'll meet places and we'll do stuff like that where there's the kids involved, but it's not like, oh, let's go here together or let's go there together. Together, because I would feel uncomfortable with that turning the way around, right? So I know people that are divorced and one person lives upstairs and the other person lives downstairs.
Well,
So that they can literally just go, knock, knock, I'm going wherever. And like, we'll live next door to each other.
Like that are situations where the kids stay in the house.
Yeah.
Parents see.
That's the line.
Yeah.
One person I met in Alberta, him and the kids go back and forth between houses, and him and the wife stay there in each house, and the kids can go back and forth. And he's like, but like, I have a keypad to get at hers if there's an emergency, and she has a keypad. Like, if I'm dating someone and I'm a year in and I'm serious with this person, you shouldn't have fucking access to just come in my house and know it was where your kids resided. Like, that's weird.
So Matt used to have a key, but then I took it away because he wasn't giving me a key to his place. But now I have a key to his place, and I haven't given him one back yet.
But that's okay if you're not home and he's supplying to do something for you.
So like, she knows the story. I saved his life. He should have died.
yeah. No, he should have died. He was dying, and she saved his life.
Literally,
Like CPR.
Like,
No, not.
I guess, like, I'm gonna tell the story now.
Yeah,
This also was the reason why we, like, didn't fight.
Yeah, he's grateful.
Because, like, he moved. Okay, so in May was when this all started. By June, I got him at his parents' house. By September, he was in his own place. And I went back to work that September. So, like, I was very stressed. I was, like, a working single mom now. I had a toddler, like, that I was dealing with alone. And then I was obviously bitter. I was bitter. I wasn't nice to him all the time.
No, you were. It was fresh and ready, like rephase. Like,
Yeah, and one day, I'm in November 11th, actually. I messaged him we fought on Sunday. I messaged him that Sunday night, and he never read it and never answered. And, like, next morning, I'm like, that's weird. Like, what the hell? So I messaged him again, and he still never read or answered. And I called him, and he didn't answer. And I'm like, are you still mad at me? Just answer me. And then I was at work, and by lunch I realized I still didn't hear from him. And I'm like, that's not like him. Like, he's used to how I act. Like, I always get a response. So I call him 3 times in a row. He doesn't answer. And then I'm like, I call my mom, and I'm like, do I need to be worried right now? Like, Like, do you think he hurt himself? Like, I
Hey,
always
you still care about him, obviously. He's your child.
So then I reached out to like my best friend, and his best friend's like, we were supposed to go out last night and canceled. He never like texted back.
And you're like, I'm going in the house.
So, well, no. So what happened was I went back to work. I was on my lunch, but I had to go back to work. And I'm just like, I had a meeting. So I'm like, I just want this, I'm like, to his friend, try to get a hold of him. Well, his friend messages me after a half hour saying, I can't get a hold of him still. So I said, let me get his work number. So I called his work. I got the number. I'm like, let me see if he showed up to work.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, work told me it was a no-show. And like, that's when I knew.
Something.
Yeah. That's
So I ended up leaving work, and he lives in a condo building. So I go to the condo building, and I'm crying at this point because, like, I honestly thought he killed himself. Like,
Oh, you're worried. Yeah.
and I'm like telling the front desk, like, to the bank to check on him, and they're like, no, we're not. I'm like, who are you? So then,
Oh, geez.
well, I go upstairs, and I'm like banging on the door like a psycho, and I touch the door handle, and it's unlocked. You know, find him in a diabetic hole.
Oh, my God.
From there, he goes into cardiac arrest twice, ends up like in ICU for a week. So I literally,
Is he diabetic?
he's a diabetic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was now like, number one, I'm getting a divorce to this person. Number two, I'm also like thinking like, oh my God, my son's father is going to die. My son is going to grow up without a father.
Yeah.
So, like, that was like my number one priority. I went like to the hospital every day to go check on him, like, because I was just so prioritized with like father of my son. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want my son. My son didn't deserve that. He deserves a dad. Like, his dad's a good dad. So when he like woke up from that and like survived, came out, like I said to him, like, we're not fighting, and you're agreeing to everything. Like, I just your life. Like, we're not fighting. Like, it's not worth it. Just agree to like the separation agreement, and like let's like move on. And like I think like that whole experience also like kind of made us put things into perspective too, that like life is short, and life, like, you don't know what can happen, and like you could divorce someone, like anyone out there, you can divorce someone and live a life fighting with them for your whole life. But like, who needs that stress?
Yeah.
Who needs to feel like shit? Misery loves company. Like, just be happy. It's not worth it. Like, shit happens, build a bridge and like get over it, kind of.
Yeah.
So like that, I think, really helped us be like okay as well, because like grateful for me, and I was kind of like, I kind of like put the guns away too, because I was
Yeah,
like,
you let go a little.
yeah, I was kind of like, okay, like it's not worth all this fighting and all this yelling and all. Like, it's not worth it,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
You let go of the hot burning rock.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right?
I guess a near-death experience would do that to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a really bad situation to really wake you up. I mean, and if we've seen anything in the last 5 years, there's been a lot of crazy situations that have woken so many people up, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're all meant to grow.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I think though, a lot of people still have a lot of growing to do, just in general, like you're talking.
Oh, for sure.
Like, and look at society now too, and like it's like we forgot how things were with like COVID.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because now we live this, we're back in our fast-paced life, but with a little bit of time.
Honestly, I think it's gone faster,
Yeah,
and I think people are angrier.
yeah,
And like you've mentioned a few times, people are not putting in the work,
Mhm.
and a lot of them are not healing, and people have just accepted this newfound self-respect, and they're leading themselves into the world like this. And like, I know it's super off topic, but like, you can't go to any place now that says like, we will not tolerate bad behavior.
yeah.
The fact that like that needs to be like a warning at a gas station, at a restaurant, on the phone when you call is so telling of society. I think it's fucking wild. But anyway,
Yeah, you don't respect it anymore. But that's like the gist of this is like back to co-parenting. I mean, I guess it goes with everything in society. It's like treating people with respect, treating people like decent human beings, like being the sun. That's we as people need to be the sun. We need to be the light. We need to stop like being so dark and spreading that like with everything.
and I feel like also you gotta like sometimes be a bigger person and move your shit aside for the best interest.
Yes.
So I think we're all just programmed a certain way to not think positively. Like when you do, a lot of people don't understand our feelings shouldn't be controlling your thoughts. Like if something happens and you feel something, immediately you shouldn't be like, I'm a shitty person, I have bad baggage, I'm too much or whatever. Right away we're so quick to be mean to ourselves.
Yeah.
When that's why they call it the secret. It's so easy and so simple, but no one can really master it. And you only really see it when people let go of everything and just focus on gratitude.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, whatever you tell yourself is going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
And I don't mean if you say, oh, I'm going to drive down the street, I'm going to get in a car accident. But if you're constantly telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're never going to be good enough. Because God, the universe, divinity, whatever you want to call it, nobody understands yes or no. It's the act of putting it out there. So everything we speak to ourselves in our mind comes to fruition. And it's not even about spiritualism or being woo-wah or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's called The Secret because it's literally available to everybody. We have the ability to bring whatever we want for ourselves. Yeah. And it's not manifesting, and it's not a special little book that you're going to journal in or any of that shit that's going to get you there. I've been on this healing journey for a long fucking time. And it's real, genuine human connection. It's rebuilding trust in your friendship, in your society, in the environment around you that programs your brain to settle down and actually trust the universe and God and trust in yourself, your intuition, in that little devil, the Jimmy Cricket page side. Like you need the moon and the sun.
Yeah.
They need to blend together. They need to be in uniform blending. Right? The same way when you co-parent, you do it together. It should just be called parenting, right?
Yeah.
Like it's that we label things because our ego needs a label on it for us to understand it. But if we just don't even think about the emotion, and the thought in my head is, my children are going to grow up. Guess what? They will. Because everything else falls into place. Your brain tricks itself to doing the things that need to be done to get those results. If you're constantly telling yourself, I'm never going to eat 20 pounds, or I'm never going to lose 20 pounds, I'm never going to lose 20 pounds, no matter what I do, you're not. It's those people that turn around and start flipping their cheerleader aside, their critic to a cheerleader, that say, I can do this, that go and lose 100 pounds after journeying of weight loss for a million years, It's all about what you tell yourself. It took me a really long time to realize that because I've been hard on myself since I was a little kid. When I was like 12 years old, I told my parents my world go around. Does. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Our parents' generations are like, we try to teach our kids different. We can't do co-parenting. Yeah. We need to. Yeah. And ourselves too. We got to parent ourselves back. Yeah. To really get the kids and society on a better level, because it could be in a downward spiral, but we could all big wave of feeling. But let that happen.
Absolutely. But like you said, it comes down to like I like what you said before, like working together with that partner, but also like even in a co-parenting journey, it's like it's sometimes like I'm not 100% there, and I need that support from like my co-parent to like take something on, and like being able to even rely on them to like watch the kid. Yeah, them to like Matt and I agree that we would always be each other's first person as babysitters.
Which I love, because if you don't get half the time, like if you need to know something, I'm sure he'd rather have the time with his son than someone else, right? That's kind of what I would always tell Bobby too. Like, don't you want that extra time instead of my mom having the or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
And it was when the girls both started playing baseball this year and their days were off. Like I was switching one, and one was Monday, Wednesday, and the other one was Monday, Wednesday at the exact same times. I was like, look, if you don't come for one of their games on Monday or Wednesday, like if you don't show up for either practice or a game, neither of them can play this year. I literally can't physically split myself in half to be at both.
Yeah.
So we had no choice but to come together for certain things. And I don't, in our situation, that would have been well in the beginning. Like, we weren't the type of people in a situation where things were bad to be okay in that first little bit, having a dinner or whatever.
You got that, yeah, right? Or
now I invited, I still invited him to the kids' birthday parties and stuff like that, and he'd come at the end for cake, and then, make his appearance, bring the girls their presents, and to me, that's acceptable. You know what I mean? Like in little doses like that, it's good because every situation is different. And we see that between you and me.
Yeah.
But there's also so many similarities, even married.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because you just
I'm so parenting right now.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you yourself, you do a lot, right?
Oh, my husband's been there for a week and a half.
There you go. And you need to call someone to babysit for you, right?
Yeah, because I still work. So I'm like, hello, back,
Right? The parenting doesn't stop. Yeah. Because the other parent is not there.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we just need to not be so hard on ourselves and ourselves so that it is beneficial for the children. Yeah, that's what we had them for.
Well, then,
Yeah, if the child is the core value of whatever it is that you're trying to get through, you're doing the right thing. However hard it is, because it's going to be hard for everybody in every different situation, right? But if the child's the core value and both of you are doing what's best for the child, the rest is matter.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Ali, it was a pleasure.
I know I'll use yeah.
This was great.
Yes.
Guys, we hope you enjoyed. Comment, subscribe.
All that
Anything
fun
else you
stuff.
want to do? Catch you next time.
Take care.